This episode contains strong language and content that may not be suitable for young listeners. Welcome to Still the Loudest in the Room. I'm Kelly.
And I'm Katie.
And we are two former class clowns fighting for our damn lives in the bellwether state of Ohio. Here to talk books, pop culture, and ask each other questions that facilitate more meaningful conversation. It's been a month since our pilot episode, and now we have two microphones, so we sound better. Katie wanted to make a correction from last episode, right?
I sure did. So I think that I said the Artful Dodger was from David Copperfield, and that was wrong and stupid. As we all know, he is from Oliver Twist.
It's okay.
And my English teacher father would probably cringe if he knew how to listen to a podcast.
I also would like to point out on the pilot episode that I learned that I say the word like way too much, and I talk as if I'm being chased and I have 3 seconds to get my thoughts out. So I really need to slow down in my speech. I was like, I was very excited. But you went to the No Kings protest this weekend.
I did.
And how was that?
It was great. This is my second No Kings protest downtown Cleveland. Prior to that, we did it in our own small suburb that we live in. So this is my second Cleveland No Kings protest, and there were thousands of people there, which is really cool. It was a beautiful, clear blue sky. It was very cold, but we were bundled, and there was a bald eagle flying overhead over the lake. So every day when I drive into work on my commute, I see a bald eagle nest. I know exactly where the nest is. I know exactly where to look for it. I look for it every single day. And on the way home, I always see that eagle sitting up in his little perch or her perch. I don't know. I think there's a pair of them because I've seen pictures of this particular pair, but it's really interesting and cool that they have built a nest in this like urban center. I mean, this is a very busy road that I am driving down, but it's beautiful and tree lined. And I look at that eagle every day, and I just know that was him flying above. He was like, "Hey, Katie."
I think that's really cool. And it's the timing of that is very poignant.
Like, we are also Americans, and we can feel patriotic. And
sure,
how can you look at a bald eagle and not feel that? And it felt like a safe place to be with other people who were like-minded, who also we want to have that back.
I totally agree with that sentiment, because right now, if you in any way show some sort of patriotism, there's a fear that it might be coming from
You're lumped into a certain group.
Lumped in, and you might not necessarily align with that. Any type of flag or anything that we used to just look at as a common everyday thing about being American is now more looked at as, oh, that's what they wear or they do. Mm-hmm. And it's sad because we're all here. We're all sharing this space, but we need to figure it out.
I do want to I want to talk about my signs that I made.
Yes,
for
your
the
signs
protest.
were good.
So the front had 2 crossed hockey sticks, and it said, "This is not the heated rivalry that we asked for."
Yes.
Which to me was about the war. Was that understandable? Sure. Okay. And then on the back it said, "No Kings except for Kip's dad."
Yes, because he was such a great dad.
Kip's dad is the GOAT.
Just giving hugs and accepting and loving. Oh.
Yeah. And if you don't know what heated rivalry is, or you haven't watched it 25 times, you shouldn't be listening.
Right. Well, it was funny when we watched Heated Rivalry together. I think it was my first time and your 4th time? 5th.
I mean, I've watched the last 2 episodes probably.
The last 2 episodes are the ones that really pull the heartstrings and kind of solidify everything that we've been kind of waiting for in the show. But it was funny when we watched Heated Rivalry, and I was like, Kip's dad is not that much older than Kip. But who cares? He's a really good guy. He's a good dad, and he supports his son, and there's unconditional love. And that's what brought it home for me with him was, look, this parent, there's no question. It doesn't matter. And it was awesome to see.
And some of that show too, even the creator of the show was like, I didn't want this to be the story where you're waiting for them to get found out and you're waiting for people to reject them. It was actually about people not rejecting them.
Right.
And Kip's dad being supportive, and Shane's parents being supportive, and Shane wishing he had come out to them so long ago, but he couldn't because of Ilya.
Right. That was a very contentious point.
Yeah, Ilya came out too. When Shane said, "This is Ilya," he'd never told anybody that before.
We
either.
are lovers. Don't say that.
It's gross.
It is actually such a gross term. When my parents split up, we were all adults at the time, so don't feel bad for me unless you think I deserve 2 Christmases. That's fine. But I was an adult with a family, and my parents both started dating on their own. And it was a big joke between me and my siblings to say that our mother has taken a lover. It was so cringy, but it was kind of the only way we could stomach, because saying mom has a boyfriend is super gross.
Yeah.
It's just
weird.
When you're in your 60s, is it really a boyfriend, or is it somebody that will be your power of attorney when you go into the hospital? Like, what are we talking about?
Women in their 60s can be sexual, Kelly.
They can.
Listen, I only have 20 years to go, so.
I know. And I'm not.
Kelly, I can't do math. I only have 10 years to go. I'm almost 50. Okay. I'm 49. I'm not really. I'm 48. But I'll be 49 soon.
In June.
Therefore, I will be 60 in 11 years.
You know, it's fine. I think I forget my age all the time. Once you are past 35, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. And also, I mean, I look 29, so it's okay.
You do. You're actually adorable. And I would not guess that you were the age that you are.
Well, thanks.
I think you have great hair. It's super bouncy. I think a lot of women, as we get older, can really struggle with a style or hair that we love. And you have fabulous hair.
That is so nice. Thank you.
Your hair is like full of body and just, it's gorgeous. It's thick.
I really hope that, that I can maintain my amount of hair as I get older, because as I, start to go through perimenopause and everything is just terrible. I'm like, if I lose my one crowning glory, as Joe says in Little Women, my one true beauty, that's it. What do I have left to live?
Didn't Amy say that to Joe?
Amy said it
you
to
cut
Joe.
off all your hair. You're one true beauty. God, what a low key, like, she was coming for her. And then Amy she took that man.
Was the queen of the diss. Like, Amy gets a bad rap, but I really liked how they redeemed her in the movie, the most recent movie.
And that was
Greta Gerwig.
Yes, okay. I have not yet seen that, but I do want to watch it. I am still stuck on the 90s version with Winona Ryder.
Oh my God. Well, we need to watch it, or you need to watch it without me, because Amy's story is really beautiful. Okay. And Amy gets to have a voice of her own as an adult that I don't think she gets to have in the book and that you don't get to see.
Okay, I will definitely check that out. And I like Greta Gerwig a lot too. Barbie movie, right?
I love the adaptation of the new Little Women. Like, Ray and I both are obsessed with it. We love it so much. And even though we know Timothée Chalamet is like a huge chode, it doesn't matter. He's such a perfect Laurie.
He is.
He's a perfect Laurie.
Also, yeah, well, like, why is he saying too much?
I don't know.
Why are we?
He's a privileged white movie star. So.
Yeah.
Therefore, everything he says is important and valid.
It is, but people kind of got mad about it.
They did.
Real quick, going back to the Little Women of the 90s with
Winona
Ryder, Claire Danes.
Who plays Meg? I forget her name.
She had dark hair.
Yeah, her.
I was going to say, yeah, and Susan Sarandon as Marmee. Yeah. And then Amy was our Kirsten Dunst.
So Amy in the new movie is Florence Pugh.
Who I love. I love Florence Pugh.
It is a little hard to buy. She plays Amy throughout the entire movie. So the older Amy,
because she's so tiny and compact.
Well, they do make her look really young, but it's a little bit hard to buy. But in the 90s version, I think it's Kirsten Dunst, and then it's I can see her face and I can't think of her name. Samantha Mathis plays the older version of Amy, and they don't really look alike.
No, they don't.
It's a really, really good adaptation, and it's very beautifully filmed. And Saoirse Ronan is Jo, and she's so good.
What a beautiful name,
There's
too.
There's also a Little Women version. There's a PBS episodic version where Jo is played by Maya Hawke plays Jo, and she's great. And also the guy who played the prince in the live-action version of The Little Mermaid plays Laurie, and he's super hot. And I think his name is, Kelly. This is bad. I'm going to Daniel Hooper believe this.
You are. I was going to say, you know all the actors' names. And even when I say them wrong, you gently correct me when I'm like, what was it? Jacob Elordi. And you're like, it's Elordi.
You're like, Saoirse Ronan, who's that? It's Saoirse.
Saoirse. I've had to look that name up multiple times and do the pronunciation.
Yeah. Same.
Because I think, is it Gaelic or Celtic? I don't know which. But
which one is Enya? I don't know.
Irish names, their spelling is a little crazy, but the names are beautiful.
They are.
And when you know how to say them, like Siobhan, it looks like Siobhan, but it's Siobhan, and I think that's awesome.
Yeah. Everything I learned from Dairy Girls, which is
Dairy Girls,
one of the greatest shows of all time.
Is that a PBS show as well?
It is. I have no idea. I watched it on Netflix.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. Well, you were talking about the PBS version of Little Women. I think PBS always does things in such a wholesome way that is so true to the actual artist's intent, which is my favorite way to view something. I get a little sad when people take things and kind of Hollywoodize them.
Yeah.
but I would trust Greta Gerwig though.
She does a beautiful version, but also the PBS version is very true to the book.
Which is what I want. I hate it when they go rogue or they deviate. And you're like, that's not what happened.
So I think the Greta Gerwig version is probably a little different than what you.
Well, I've never read the book. I've only seen the '90s movie, so it won't kill me. You know what I mean?
Speaking of books, though, I have such a fun memory about that book. When I was a kid and we would go on road trips, we would always listen to books on tape, literally cassette tape. And at the time,
what's that?
You could get them at the Cracker Barrel, and you could get this thing of like 8 cassette tapes. You'd listen to it, and then whenever you finished it, you'd just go to the Cracker Barrel in the next town down the road, and you could exchange it.
That is a great concept, though. I love that.
It was actually really cool, and so my parents always did that. But before the trip started, we would go to the library, and we'd always pick a book, and I picked Little Women every time. So I've heard Little Women read to me multiple times. It was all of our favorites.
Don't you and your kids do that now?
They just stare at their phones in the car and watch TikTok because I'm a really, really good mom.
That's okay. I want to know what you are currently reading or have just finished, or what's on your TBR list that you're looking forward to. Where are we at?
Well, I finished Shred Sisters since we last spoke, and I've also read another book in between, and then I started a new one. So I want to say this about Shred Sisters.
Absolutely.
I really liked it. It was my kind of book, so I don't know how to describe that. You're better at that. But here is one thing that really bothered me about the ending is it was such a trope of love conquers all. So she's like terribly mentally ill her entire life. She's in and out of these hospital programs, and all of a sudden she's pregnant and has a baby, and she's like, I have to be sane for my baby. I'll take my pill every day. And like, that's it. She's perfectly fine and normal after that. And I was like, come on now.
It does seem like a way out, right?
Yeah.
I think I definitely...
She should have just continued to be fucked up.
Right. Or like left that baby at the fire station. Oh my God, we're going to cut that. But
no, we're not.
I enjoy books a lot more that will leave a messy ending or no resolution.
Yeah.
Because we don't live that way. We don't end each day like, well, put a little bow on that. I really nailed it and everything's fine.
Which is why you and I both hate the romance genre.
Right. Or anything that is like very ultra mainstream. And I'm going to say some names here, and we might lose some listeners.
We might lose our single follower. Yes. Shout out Andy, my friend.
We have a few more. We have my sister and my trainer Spencer, who's very, very excited for us. But Colleen Hoover, get the fuck out of here. Okay?
Yeah, I don't want to read
Nora
any
Roberts. There are people I know that it speaks on a level that is just too basic and surface level, and we don't ever see real people. And you can say, well, that one was about domestic abuse, and oh wowee. But
I feel like Nora Roberts deserves more credit than Colleen Hoover.
That's fair.
Colleen Hoover is at the bottom of the stack.
For sure.
Here's the thing. Those people write those books because there's a huge, massive audience for
Absolutely.
them, and that's fine. And I know plenty of extremely intelligent people who really enjoy that genre because as a way to like separate and escape. And I wish I liked it. I've said this so many times. I wish I liked romance novels because there are so many of them. I would just never not have reading material. But I'm so picky. Right. And as soon as I read a piece of dialogue that sounds clunky or like weird, I'm out. I am
100%. The dialogue is what will solidify or kill it for me. You nailed it there for sure.
And I don't mind a romance.
Sure. And
I would read a romance. Like, have you ever read a romance novel that you really liked? That was the plot of the book.
I don't think so.
I'm gonna think about it.
I mean, I would have to think really long and hard about that. Okay. I mean, maybe it's a subplot, but it's not like a romance novel.
See, it's always been a subplot.
Sure.
Anyway,
but dialogue is if it's forced or people don't talk like that,
right?
Or it just seems very like they're trying super hard to make it contemporary.
Listen, the heated rivalry books, terrible. They're terrible. Did I eat the show up with a spoon? Yes.
Yes. And then you licked the bowl clean and then you went back for seconds and thirds and fourths.
And he took so much of that dialogue straight from the book, but something about it coming out of actors' mouths made it more palatable. Sure. And he took out some of the worst parts too. Like, I'm sorry. I know Rachel Reed is listening to this podcast right now.
She is.
She's not a good writer, but God bless her. She's made a lot of money and good for her.
Right.
And I support women.
Well, absolutely. But there are differences between the way you see a layout of a screenplay versus a book. I mean, that's why they do deviate between books and screen. Yeah. I mean, it's a fair
And speaking of basic, the book that I read after Shred Sisters was End of Watch by Stephen King. I'm a big Stephen King fan.
Speaking of amazing dialogue.
Yeah. Oh, are you ready, Barbara? Let's go surf the net. It's 2016.
Yes, and your name's Barbara, and you're 12.
She was 16. Her name's Barbara. Guess what her two best friends' names are?
Oh, let me guess. Like Ruth and...
He's like, Betsy?
No.
And Hilda.
No. Shut. Okay, see, he's not even trying.
I know. Was it like a joke? So the End of Watch is the third in a series. It's the Mr. Mercedes series. And it starts with the book called Mr. Mercedes. The middle one is Finders Keepers, and then this one. And so it kind of wraps up the story of this detective and this woman who helps him. Like he's a PI and she's his assistant. And of course I loved it because I didn't love it. I gave it 3 stars out of 5.
Okay.
So I liked it.
And this is on Goodreads
This is on Goodreads. Okay. I liked it and I finished it, which is to me almost as an automatic 2 stars if I finished it.
Absolutely.
If I enjoyed it and read it quickly, it gets 3. It didn't get beyond that because the names are stupid. It got too wrapped up in like weird Stephen King stuff for me.
Did it go into like the weird metaphysical or sci-fi?
No, sort of. Like this guy in the book gets the ability to like upload his conscience into other people.
Oh.
And, yeah. So whatever. That was dumb. But I finished it and I liked it. But I don't know that I'm gonna read another Stephen King book for a long time.
Maybe just cleanse the palate for a little bit.
And then the book that I am currently reading is The Correspondent. I'm listening.
Yes. Okay. I read that.
You gave a B-.
A B-. I did. And Debbie, our friend, loved it. I felt bad because she was like, I really liked it.
But she listened to it and I'm listening to it. And I will say like
narration goes a long way.
The narration is great. And it's so interesting to listen to these letters.
Are they in different voices?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So that's cool.
There's like 15 different narrators.
Yeah. I do enjoy that when an audiobook really plays to that. Mm-hmm. Daisy Jones and the Six was an audiobook that I listened to and every character had their own voice. And I don't know if it would have
been that hard. I don't usually like that. I feel like it works in this book because it's letters.
Well, it does in The Correspondent for sure. But Daisy Jones and the Six was good because a lot of the chapters are interviews with the different members of the band. And it almost sounds like you're listening to like a VH1 behind the music. And it was very cool.
Oh, that is cool.
And because they were a musical group, there are little snippets of songs.
Okay.
And it was done really well. Taylor Jenkins Reid is one of my guilty pleasure authors because I think she is more mainstream with a lot of her books like Daisy Jones and the Six or The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo.
I tried so hard to read that book and I didn't like it.
That one was okay. My favorite one is Carrie Soto is Back. And that was very good. I really enjoyed that. Malibu Rising is supposed to be another one. My friend Amanda really likes that one. And a lot of her characters do appear in other books. And it's not because they're all part of the same storyline, but it's just kind of cool to see those people pop up.
She's like the Frederick Bachman of, I don't know, whatever it is that she writes.
Yeah.
I also have not read any Frederick Bachman.
I haven't either, but I know what you're talking about.
You know who I mean, because he has like a million books and they're all, I want to say, like members of the same town or something.
Yeah, and it's cool because like you don't have to know those books to enjoy one of them.
Yeah.
But if you do read them,
then they're all interconnected.
Have you read Olive Kittredge or any of those books by Elizabeth Strout? She has a lot of characters popping up in all of the books, but they're not a series per se. No. Very good. I think you would like them. Okay. I am reading, I just finished Our Beautiful Boys by Samir Pandya. It was a phenomenal book. And when I posted it on my Instagram account, 82 chapters, I basically created my own term called unputdownable because it was a book that just read so easily and all of the characters were very fascinating. But to give it a quick synopsis, there are 3 high school boys. We have a white boy who comes from a family of very old money. A boy of, is it Latinx? Is that how you say it? He's Latino, but I'll say Latinx.
I don't. Podcast, you can't see what my face is doing, which is like,
I don't know. Yeah. I see it in writing, but I don't know how to say it. Latinx background. And then we have the boy Vikram, whose parents are from India.
Okay.
So the Indian boy joins the football team midway through the season because the coach spots him in the high school hallway and he's just built very large. So it turns out he's actually pretty decent at football. His parents really don't want him to play. Totally get that. And then the other 2 boys are captains of the team, so they take him under their wing. But what happens is...
Wait, no spoilers.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
I'm just giving a very brief overview, I promise. All 3 of these boys have had the same type of interactions with this bully in high school. throughout the years that they've been there. And after they come off of a particularly good football game win one night, they go to a party, the bully's there, and everyone's drinking. I didn't do that in high school because I was not cool, but apparently that's what happens at these parties. And the bully runs his mouth, and so these three now large football players attack him. And they all spin the story a different way, but the boy ends up in the hospital. And so then it brings in all of these kids and their families to the principal's office, and they're trying to get an account of what exactly happened that night. And you see a lot of race and privilege and class come into the play of how they're going to handle this, and parents that are worried about college and, well, you're white, you don't have to worry about it. Or the colleges have enough Indian boys, so I'm screwed. You know, all of this. And the parents getting involved makes it even more messy because, you know, the Indian parents really they're nonviolent. They're Gandhians. Is that how you say it? Their grandfather was a devout follower of Gandhi.
Okay.
So they're very nonviolent, very peaceable. And they're like, not my son. My son did not do this. And then, you know, the white parents are saying, my son did not do this. And then we have the Latino boy's mother saying he would never. So, and then all the backstories of the parents, they all have their own shit going on. And I won't go into too much.
Right up my alley. I'm so excited.
The writing is amazing.
I just downloaded Optional Practical Training because I forgot to mention that I'm also going to start reading that.
You will like that one a lot.
I know, but I want to read this one more.
Well,
it's probably not available.
Well, they're both books that you will finish within a weekend if you start them because you cannot stop reading.
I have a road trip ahead of me. So
okay, you'll enjoy them thoroughly. This author also wrote one a few years ago that I read called Members Only, which was also very, very good. Okay. It was about an Indian family that joined a country club, and there is a racist issue that comes up, but it's the white people accusing the Indian man of being racist. And the way that you have to retrain your brain while you're reading this to see these aspects of class and culture combating one another is, this writer is amazing. Okay. He is so good.
I'm sold. That sounds so good.
I think that it would be something you would really enjoy as well. We will move on to our questions for today. The first one that we had was, this is probably a pretty loaded question, but what pushes your buttons, Katie? Now that we're in perimenopause, what pushes your buttons except for everything?
I know, exactly. Like, how do you pare that down? So this one is just kind of a funny one. You know, my husband is a quiet person. Of course we talk, but never like in depth about stuff really until I'm doing something. And it's usually looking at my phone or reading a book or sending a text or reading an email. And then he's like, do you think we should call a roofer about that XYZ thing that's going on the roof? I wonder how much that's going to cost. What should we do about blah, blah, blah? What are we having for dinner 6 days from now? And I just want to scream. But then as soon as I want to talk and he is not readily available, that's on him. Like, that's not me.
Right.
So that really pushes my buttons. Like, you know, poor grammar that I see on Facebook when people say things like "I seen." I mean, I know it shouldn't, and that's really sort of elitist of me, but I hate it.
So valid.
Yeah,
that was actually on my list too. So mark that one off. That was great.
I mean, every day, just there's so many annoying things in the world. But here's what I think about myself: is that I am an internal optimist. I always just assume everything is going to be okay. So I try really hard not to let that little stuff get under my skin. I feel like of the two of us, you get your buttons pushed a lot. You are very easily annoyed by many things.
I am so annoyed.
Whereas even if I get annoyed, I tell myself, well, that person is old and old people deserve respect, blah, blah, blah. Or I'll say like, this thing is annoying to me right now, but it's not going to be annoying to me tomorrow. Like, I can talk myself out of it. Let's hear about yours. You old curmudgeon.
The way that you clock me so accurately. But you know why too? You know that about me is because I feel so safe around you that I will tell you, you know what? I'm a total bitch right now, but I fucking hate ...
But you get so revved up because it starts out small and then you're like, and know what? You know what else I fucking hate?
Well, you know, I will start mine off then by saying that my husband has affectionately referred to me as the female Bill Burr and the granddaughter of Louis Black. So for those of you who know those comedians, all they do is fucking rant and rave and shake their fists at things. I'm old man yells at cloud. That is me.
You 100% are.
But I accept it. I know that about myself, but I am trying. I did up my dosage of Lexapro. I told my GP, I said, something's got to change. I need help. So we're up to 40. So I think we'll be okay. But my big one, besides just looking at people and hating the way that they breathe. But there's a name for it. Dave helped me look it up this morning because I wanted to. He's like, maybe we should start off with a little bit of facts before you just start bitching and moaning. It's misophonia, and it is a term that has to do with selective sound sensitivity. And
exactly what that is.
I don't want to hear chewing. I don't want you to breathe in front of me.
Okay.
And Dave, I mean, this is total perimenopause heightened stuff too, because I mean, I have been annoyed by this stuff my entire life, but now
you probably do have misophonia.
I definitely do. And it's very typical in neurodivergent people. Hello, big finger pointing at this girl. It's a neurological, and I'm not saying that I have a disorder, but it's definitely something that is.
Oh, you have a disorder.
Okay.
Right.
I don't want to diagnose myself, I guess is what I'm saying. I'll own it if I do, for sure. But where specific sounds trigger intense emotional responses, anger, rage, looking at you, Kelly, or disgust, far beyond normal annoyance.
So what is is it the chewing?
Chewing.
My mouth sounds in the microphone.
No, that, I like ASMR stuff. That doesn't bother me, but chewing is absolutely abhorrent to me.
Wow. We just jinxed each other.
Jinx, owe me a Coke. And I don't like people that breathe. Whistling.
People that breathe.
Breathing loud in front of me. But if you whistle, you can get the fuck out of my face.
Do you mean whistle while you breathe accidentally?
No,
or like
booger whistles? No, people that whistle as like a musical, like if they have a song in their head, I don't want to hear it. And
note to self, because I'm a whistler.
I've never heard you whistle.
I do it a lot at work, and it's a way of like, if someone's coming down the hall at you and you're like coming, and I just can't bear the awkward tension of like, do I look at them? Do I look away? So I'm just like,
you whistle?
Oh no, my God. That's so embarrassing.
That's hilarious. I did not know that about you. But speaking of workplace whistlers, I did work with a woman who we would open together at the bank that I worked at. And she would be in the drive-through, like getting everything settled. And, it was 8 a.m. and I had a 1-hour commute there. And I was a single mom at the time. And I was just highly irritable. I'm always irritable. It doesn't matter what time it is. But she would be like, good morning. How are you? And I'm like, first of all, we don't need to talk. We can nod.
Oh, you're scary.
And then she's back there whistling, and I could have crushed a light bulb in my fist. It was just like, this goddamn woman whistling at 8 a.m. Who do you think you are? What's your problem?
She'd go home and be like, I don't know what I did to bother Kelly. She's just so mean to me.
I probably
tried whistling. I thought she would like it.
I thought I would boost her spirits with a little whistle. No, absolutely not. Okay. No. So whistling, breathing, chewing. And I swear, I am a nice person. I really am.
She is.
But I do have these things that just make my eye twitch. And I will keep it to myself. But if I know you and I feel safe around you, I will tell you, Katie, I'm going to kill that person.
You do keep it to yourself really well. And you tell me, and that's fine.
And I tell people that I trust, and everybody else just thinks that it's fine.
Well, it's interesting because I've looked up misophonia before, too, because I have an aversion to specific sounds, but not those sounds. When I
You mean sounds of joy? Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chewing is joy. Anytime I hear two competing sounds that I have to listen to at the same time.
Something that's cacophonous?
Yes, it is. I hate a cacophony. So my brother-in-law has this tendency to play like oldie-timey radio shows.
Hello, my darling. Hello, my baby.
It's always like, welcome to 1952.
FDR's Fireside Chat.
It's literally that. But it's called, oh my God, I forget what the name is. But he's always playing these oldie-timey radio shows. But then also talking and trying to have a conversation while it is going. And like my brain explodes and I can't handle it.
Overstimulation.
Yes. But I don't think I have misophonia, because for me, it's like a song is playing and then like another song starts playing over top of it. Just kill me. I would rather die than listen to two songs at the same time.
Back in the day when radio stations would do that, fade out, fade into the next song, because all of my mixtapes were like that. I can still hear songs today, and in my mind, when they go to end, I can hear the next song.
You want to know what's like, you automatically start singing it.
I hear what was on my mixtape, like coming in.
I don't like anything atonal. So when you went to Bowling Green, my husband went to Bowling Green. He majored in music, and every week they had to attend a recital, or they had a certain number of recitals you had to attend as a music major. And one of the ones that we went to, because we were dating at the time, was called the New Music Symposium. and it was contemporary music. It was terrible. I hate it. For me, it's like looking at modern art, which I'm sorry. I know that's really gauche. I know.
We are just blasting everything today. Colleen Hoover, modern art, breathing, get the fuck out of here.
It's really hard having Beth's taste and being good at everything.
Totally.
But it would be like, a clarinet player and a piano player. And the piano player wasn't actually playing the keys. They like opened the piano and plucked a string with a banana or something. And then the clarinet would start over here and just be like... And it was so bizarre. And then there was someone singing in the background, a completely different song completely that was, again, completely atonal. And everyone's like, it's amazing that she's able to find the notes. I'm like, she doesn't know what... She could sing anything she wanted and you would think it was good.
And who asked for this? I need to know. Who's asking for this art form?
The new music symposium to this day because it was so bad. And we just kept looking at each other like,
it sounds
what is this?
It makes me think of something Yoko Ono would put together.
100. That's exactly it. It's Yoko Ono music and I hated every second.
It's hard. It's hard. I don't enjoy things like that either. I mean, I like new experiences and people thinking outside the box, but we don't need to reinvent the wheel on everything. Yeah. We can appreciate why things are beautiful because of how they are.
Like there's a reason harmony is beautiful. It's because it's harmonious.
Right.
But when
it is harmonious, the definition of harmony.
But when it's like an atonal chord that doesn't resolve, I mean, just kill me. I don't want to hear that.
It's like finishing a sentence with a preposition.
Ugh.
I'm going to jump out the window. Oh my God, get out of here.
Wait, that's not a preposition though.
What?
Oh, you mean you're going to jump out the window if someone ends a sentence in a preposition? Yes! I was like, does she think the word window is a preposition?
It's a fucking noun.
What a dumb bitch.
No, I literally want to jump out of a window. If people, like the poor grammar thing, like you talked about, we all speak this language and I understand that people have different styles. But
language is evolving.
But if you don't know when to use certain words that we all learned
mischievous
school.
I'm looking at you.
Well, so I had a boss who she was very good at her job and she worked very hard to get where she was. And she was higher up in banking, so it was definitely a boys' club. Ugh. And she would talk about how all the men were very condescending. No. And I thought to myself, I love your shoulder pads. And I love how you know this business back and forth. But if you want people to take you seriously, you can't say condescending. Maybe you should say condescending.
Did you say that though? Or did you have to hold it inside?
I was 23 years old.
Oh, you didn't say it.
I was annoying in my own right. Let's get that straight right now. I walked in there thinking like, oh, I have a college degree. Look at me. And I hate that about myself now because I am now not the youngest in the workplace. And I see like how people our age have had to deal with the newcomers. And
yeah, but I love the age that I am now.
Me too.
In my work environment, I feel much more sure of myself. I no longer have imposter syndrome, all of that. But your story reminded me of something really stupid I did like 2 weeks ago. My boss, who I really like, and she's not technically my boss. She's like the boss of a lot of people. Anyway, we were standing there and she was like, oh, this is so hard or something. And I said, oh, there. And I went to pat her shoulder as a little joke. And I said, oh, are you wearing shoulder pads? And she looked at me and went, no.
Oh my God.
And then, I mean, what
thick shoulders do you have?
I was so embarrassed and she laughed so hard. She thought it was the funniest thing she'd ever heard. And I was just mortified.
That's really
and I was like, I'm sorry that you are as broad shouldered as an ox. You just need a yoke and carry the water buckets. She's actually so small. Like she's so much smaller than me. She's a very petite person.
Was it a thick fabric?
Damn, those shoulders felt like your dog's head, which for the record is the shape of a walnut.
Allison has a very hard ridge through the center of her cranium. And our veterinarian was like, what's that? I'm like, that's what we're asking you, sir.
Man, girl, you caught me there. I just need a little bit.
Well, he mentioned something about it being like akin to like this type of skulls that coyotes have. And I'm like, oh, well, I don't know. I mean,
a coyote is like a dog, right?
They're like really like runty, mangy, smaller dog versions.
But is that like if a coyote mated with a dog, would they be able to have like a progeny, and then that progeny would probably be infertile, like a mule?
I don't know. Are mules infertile?
Yeah, because mules are the offspring of a donkey and a horse. And
oh my gosh, I didn't know that.
Well, you do now. Congratulations.
Is this because you are an academic advisor for science kids?
That's why I know that.
That is crazy. I mean, I guess I probably learned that somewhere along the way, but I didn't know they were infertile.
They are. What if I looked that up right now and I was wrong and I have to correct myself next episode?
Well, we'll just be like, okay, we're starting up every episode now where Katie corrects
science. We'll start off with science facts with Katie. Did you know the moon landing was fake?
Did you know the Earth is flat? JK. Speaking of flat Earth, we do need to talk about Project Hail Mary, but we will get to that.
Okay. Wait, we got to ask our next question. Sorry.
Yeah. I do have a few more things that bother me. Just real quick.
Oh my God.
It's fine.
Bring it on.
Real quick. I don't want to hear your speakerphone in public. I don't want to hear the social media clips that you're listening to in public. I don't want to hear any of that, especially, yes, queen, because I find it it's so rude and so inconsiderate to the people around you.
And you have bad taste.
And also the bad taste, but you can listen to our podcast like out loud.
Out loud.
But I've seen people doing, a speakerphone call while somebody's trying to take their order at a restaurant.
Oh my God.
And the level of nerve it takes to be so entitled.
And even walking through the checkout at a grocery store.
And everyone hears you. Like if I was the person on speakerphone and I didn't know that my voice was being projected through Meyer, I would be kind of
even
upset.
Talking on the phone, even if it's not on speakerphone, I still find that to be incredibly rude.
Yeah. I mean, sorry, but you're not that important. Call them when you get in the car. Like you're not doing open heart surgery over the phone for somebody. Okay. So I don't want to hear that. And also don't call me on the phone if you're about to go through the drive-through. Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. I have to order. Like, why'd you call me?
Why'd you call me in general? I don't want to talk on the phone ever.
Oh, that
Unless
too.
you're my sister. That's it.
Oh, I have a relation that has been guilty of that. She will also be like, hold on, I'm returning some pants at Nordstrom. Okay, well, why did you call me? You called me. I did not call you. Or the last one is if you are on the phone and you're having a side conversation with somebody in the room with you. So say, for example, you call me and I'm like, oh, hey, Katie, what's up? And you're like, oh, hey, Kelly. Hey, Dan, what are we doing here? Why are we doing this? Why did you call me? Don't call me again.
Yeah, never.
And
We're
don't
not
chew
anymore.
or breathe or whistle in front of me. So that's all. That's really what grinds my gears.
Hear your cells replicating. Stop it.
Right. And if I hear a plant going through photosynthesis, I'm going to set a bomb off. So let's talk about emotions.
Okay.
Do you tend to hide them or show them?
I think you know the answer to that.
I think we're both very akin.
I mean, I see that you have a beautiful henna tattoo on your skin. And that is basically my emotions are written all up and down my face and my body. And you know what?
Honey.
They come out expressed via the form of tears.
Yes,
Every
uncontrollable.
emotion that I have is expressed
like
through
you don't
tears.
want to cry and you're like, God damn it. Like I'm just trying to tell you something happy.
Or I'm mad. It's more so when I'm angry, frustrated, anxious, like mostly mad. Like if I have to defend myself, which I will do, if someone comes at me, I will cry while doing it. It's just
I think
terrible.
It's because it's such an overwhelming feeling that
it's very intense. Yeah.
It's intense. And it's not something obviously that we're comfortable with
but it is hard to be taken seriously, especially as a woman in the workplace when you cry.
You get choked up and you get, yes, I've had those moments. I've had exactly what you're talking about. And it's because the same thing. I am very emotive. My face, the minute you start talking to me, I'm going to start expressing my thought process on my face.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
So you will know if I think you're a dipshit or if I'm really into what you're saying. I'm like,
I've seen you give me faces over certain people's shoulders before that lets me know that even though you can't hear the conversation, you know what's being said. And you're like, wowie, I'm glad I'm not talking to that person.
And sometimes I can tell you, I don't even know I'm doing it. I just will observe something and my face starts processing my brain. And so I don't play poker because I have no poker face. Yeah. I am not a good liar, these aren't bad things, right? I'm an excellent liar. Are you?
Well, you know why? Because I'm a good actor.
I was going to say, because you're on Broadway. You are. You're a little theater kid.
I am very good at lying. I'm not saying I do it. I don't because it makes me feel terribly,
you have a guilty
guilty.
Conscience. For
I
sure.
absolutely do. So I will tell you the truth about everything unless I don't. And you'll never know.
You won't know shit from me.
I just mean, in the context of work or your life or your kids teach anything.
You have a way with words, though. So you're not a liar, but you are so educated.
Oh, yeah.
And the way you speak is so eloquent that anything you say, people are going to believe you.
Get out your sunshine lamp and blow it right up my butt.
Oh, sunshine on your butthole. See, that's what we're doing.
Just sun in my taint. That's the new word for compliments.
Just sun in my taint.
I'm going to sun your taint.
Oh, wow. See, that's what friends do for each other. But being emotional, though, I do enjoy the fact that, like, I do feel emotions because some people don't. And I think that's sad.
Wait till that 40 mgs of Lexapro kicks in. You won't feel a thing.
Well, it does help me, I think, restrain my tears because there are things that before, if I would talk about them, it would just be welling up. And I was like, I knew it was coming, but I couldn't stop it.
Yeah.
And that was frustrating.
Like when you had to not book your son's dentist appointment.
Oh, I know. So real quick caveat, my son's going to college in the fall, and we have always done family dentist appointments where we all go together because it's annoying.
That is the cutest thing I have ever heard in my life.
And when we were booking for our next 6-month cleaning, she's like, oh, you want all 4 of you again? I go, yeah. And I went, oh no, Adam will be at college. It'll just be the 3 of us. Maybe Thanksgiving break because I know he'll be home. And it was just kind of like this eye-opening, like I've known it's coming, like all this whole senior year we've been working towards this, but this is like the first thing I've had to do that did not include him.
Let's not cry.
I know. I was talking to somebody at work too about, like, every time we're watching a movie or putting a puzzle together, I'm like, this time next year, like, he's not going to just be here. And it's kind of hard to swallow, but he's very ready. And then there are moments where I'm like, I can't wait for this adult male to not be in my house eating my food and making me do his laundry, because he is an adult. He needs his own space, and he's very ready.
Of course. And as a parent, our job is to hold in the emotion that we are having about them leaving and plaster on our face, we're so excited for you. This is going to be the best time of your life.
It is so exciting. And he's not going terribly far away, which makes me feel a lot better. If we wanted to go see him for breakfast on a Sunday morning,
I think you could drive there.
We could totally do that. It's 50 minutes away, but it's just the fact that he won't be coming home every night and checking in. And
now here's a question. Will you take him off Life 360? Because I've thought about this too. Not because my kid cares at all, but because I don't want to be that parent. I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to be able to do it though.
I am not really obsessively checking Life 360. And if I kept him on there, I wouldn't really know what any of it meant. Like, what does it mean that you're at this building?
You know what I mean? I guess I'm thinking
it would be good to have for driving back and forth.
When I check it, it is because I have gone to sleep before my kid gets home. And then I wake up in a panic, but all I have to do is pull down one little notification and I can see that it says
they've arrived
home. So that one's a tough one for me. And I don't want to be a helicopter parent. So I think I'm actually just going to turn it off because they got to make their own choices and figure out their own way. They can call me if they need me.
That's true. Yeah. I don't look at it often. The only time I will, I think, is when I'm like getting home from somewhere and nobody's home. And I'm like, where is everybody?
Where is everybody?
But otherwise, I really don't. I mean, I'm not really on my phone a lot. I've gotten a lot better about it. All right. How about you, Kate? No, I know you're chronically online.
I am chronically online.
But I mean, how nice to have the option to be able to like know where everybody in your family is without putting microchips.
Like Molly Weasley's clock. Fuck J.K. Rowling.
Oh, right. Yes. Right. That turf. But the Weasleys are such a good family, too. They're the best family. What about nightmares when you were younger?
Oh, my God. So this is funny because I thought of it last time we were talking. I had this one really specific nightmare that I had repeatedly, which was in the nightmare, I'm in an all-white space. Imagine it's just like there's no walls, there's no ceiling, there's nothing. It's just white and you're just standing there.
Sounds very cinematic.
Yes, exactly. So it was just this huge white space. And then I would hear this big, deep voice, and it was the voice of kidnappers on television.
You knew it was kidnappers.
Yeah, because they've already made the ransom note with the cutout letters, and then they call and they use a voice disguise, and it's like, I have your son and I'm going to kill him. And it's so scary.
It is so scary.
So in my dream, I would hear that voice, and I just somehow knew it was my sister. And I don't know why. It was a man's voice. Sorry, Anne. But she would say, count to 1,000,000. And then I would have to get these big, like, person tall numbers. And there would be like, they were like 3D numbers and like a block. And I would get one. I would go 1. And and then I get the 2, and then the 3, and then somehow my dream would fast forward, and I would get to 1,000,000, which is, impossible.
So long.
And then the voice would just laugh and go, "Do it again."
Wow. Were you taking like off-brand melatonin? Like what was
I
going
wasn't
on?
taking anything because it was the 80s and I had undiagnosed anxiety. An ADHD probably.
That is wild.
Yeah, who knows what else I had a touch of. But
was this right before you started reading Stephen King, or were you already reading Stephen King?
I want to say I was younger than the Stephen King. I probably didn't start reading till I was in high school.
Wow, that is a trippy dream.
Yeah, I was young when I had these, probably through like my early teens. And I haven't had it in forever, but I often have dreams still to this day. Have you ever been a server?
Yeah.
So I was a server at Chi Chi's restaurant in, Toledo, Ohio for many years. It's where I met my husband. And I still have serving dreams to this day where I have like 800 tables. I cannot take everyone's order. And usually I have Mickey Mouse hands and I can't touch the screen of the ordering thing. I just smash it like this and I can't like order anything.
You're the worst server in town.
So I still have serving dreams too. Or dreams where, oh my God, I have so many. I also have a lot of dreams where I am not in control of the vehicle that I'm in. I'm either in the passenger seat or I'm in the back seat and no one is in the driver's seat. And so I'm having to control the vehicle somehow, like putting I'll dive from the back seat.
Those are anxiety.
100%.
All of that is anxiety.
And then the car goes over the cliff and then I wake up. It's horrible.
You're lucky you're not like having a heart attack in your sleep from that.
I can't even up my dose of what I take because I'm at the highest dose.
It's too much. You have too much.
I think I need maybe a supplement. What are your nightmares?
I as a young kid, I definitely had a reoccurring nightmare of a skeleton in a red sweater. A very nice crew neck sweater. And I would
really well-dressed skeleton.
I would come into a room and I would try to be hiding from him and he would always turn his head and like look at me and smile.
Oh, I don't like that.
Even if I was hiding under his chair, he would like know where I was. So that did not make me feel great.
Did it ever like try to get you or touch you?
No, he would just like always like just like follow me around with like turning his head on his neck bones.
This is Sally from When Harry Met Sally. And he's like, so a faceless man rips off all your clothes and that's the sex fantasy you've been having since you were 12.
Right. I had not seen that movie at that point, but I don't know. It was just weird. But it's funny, like the anxiety dreams that we have as adults that you are talking about, because I still have dreams about basketball or volleyball where I'm late to a game or practice and I don't have time to get all my stuff on, or I've forgotten my jersey, or I go to dribble and every time I try to dribble, like I just can't, like
you can't get the ball.
Or I go to serve a volleyball and I just keep like missing it. Or like I go to shoot and I just like can't even get it to the rim. It's just all these weird dreams and it's really, really like stressful.
It's a lack of control.
It is.
Yeah.
Or the worst one is where I find out that I have to play basketball for one more year, just one more. At this age with my family. And I'm going to tell Dave like, hey, we have to go back to Bowling Green. It's just for a year. There's an apartment you guys can stay in and I just have to get through the season.
Maybe Jeff Daniels will come to one of your games.
Jeff Daniels is going to come to the game.
You can redeem yourself.
It's just really bizarre. And I just think like, okay, I can do this one more year. Like, but that's it. I'm done. Like it's really exhausting. And I just think about like what a long journey it's going to be. And it's really weighs on me.
That is interesting.
But when I was a kid, I read the book Dracula, the kids version, Dracula for kids. But it was like a, Penguin Random House publication, and it was like watered down. But it was the story of Dracula where, the guy goes to the castle and he's
like, I'm going to drink Kool-Aid.
Oh, it's so thick. Is this typo? No, but it was like, very abridged version. And my brother and I read it twice in one summer because it was part of the library reading program. We didn't have cable. We're in the country.
Same.
So going to the library was very exciting. But it scared the shit out of us, but we were like, let's read it again. But from that summer, I was probably in 4th grade until the 5 years following that, I could not sleep in my room without a sheet covering my neck.
Aww.
I was terrified. Aww. And we lived in a farmhouse. There was no central air. So I am like dripping buckets of sweat while sleeping, but my neck was covered.
Protecting your carotid artery.
I was not going to get bit. and become like Lucy in Dracula.
Okay.
So,
I've never read Dracula.
I love
Neither kids
Dracula.
nor adult version.
It's good. And Nosferatu was another movie that came out 2 years ago. It's a vampire story, but it's different than Dracula, but it's very dark. And the movie that they had,
That's too scary for me.
it was really good.
Too scary. Do you know what I did read though? Have you ever read The Historian?
No.
I can't remember the name of the author, but it's historical fiction, and it's based on the story of the real Dracula, who was Vlad the Impaler. But in the book, I mean, it's fiction. Vlad the Impaler was Dracula, is what they're insinuating, and so it was really. I remember really liking it. That's all I remember about it.
One of my guilty pleasure or palate cleanser authors is Jodi Picoult, who I think is kind of more on the
so hard to like Jodi Picoult,
right?
and I don't.
There are some books, and they always wrap up nicely, and there's always a lesson to be learned, and you can always find out what the twist is going to be.
I just think for me she's too wordy. Like,
oh yeah,
I don't know why, I just can't read it. Not too dumb.
There were a handful of books I read, and when I was in my 30s, that I would read them in between like really heavy books, and it was good.
Think of her as like a literary fiction author. Like, no, you don't think so?
I don't know.
She's no Joyce Carol Oates.
Joyce Carol. I just bought a Joyce Carol Oates book at a bookstore in Buffalo at Rust Belt Books. It was a really cute used bookstore, and I got like a handful of books there, and I think I walked out with 4 books, and it was $18.
Wow.
I really stuck it to them.
My kid just discovered Half Price Book, because there is still one
in Mayfield.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I love Half Price.
And he was
books.
like, oh my God, look at all these books I bought.
Well, it's a great place to go because you can get, like, I got a ton of knitting books there with patterns that were like,
oh yeah,
because why buy them?
Yeah.
Full price when you get them for half price. We're sponsored by Half Price Books.
If you want to sponsor us, hit us up. We'll talk about whatever book you want. We'll pretend to have liked it.
Yes. It used to be here in our town.
Now there's a Penn Station over there.
Well, who doesn't want more fried onions?
Honestly, though, Penn Station artichoke sub is the best thing in the entire world. And I've never had anything different at Penn Station in my life other than the artichoke sub. It's my favorite.
Well, that's good.
Slathered in mayonnaise.
Also sponsored by Penn Station. Well, what about your best and worst internet? Like, you can pick one.
Well, first I need you to know that Penn Station doesn't have onion rings. They have French fries.
I'm talking about the onions that they grill and put on their sandwiches that smell like armpits.
Thank you. Just a little bit of clarification there. I mean, the worst, I feel like it's just the world is the worst.
It is.
And this isn't a political podcast. So, I mean, unless we want it to be.
You can talk about whatever you want.
I mean, I just consume so much. I would say that the thing that is sort of giving me life right now is all of the heated rivalry edits. They're all so good. Yes, I've seen them all 100 times. It doesn't matter. What people can do with computer software just blows my mind.
With computer.
But hey, what you do with computer
is all real computer. But it sparks joy for you.
It does spark joy for me, and I really like it.
You need things right now to just like make you feel good and not depressed, and like you're going down a hole of despair.
I do.
You have your phone in your hand. Yeah. So
I saw some old friends this weekend. We went thrifting. That was really fun. This is not on the internet, so I don't know if this counts.
It's okay.
And we went to see a Duran Duran cover band.
Oh, where was that at?
At the Music Box.
I love the Music Box. I've seen some good shows there.
It was good. I felt a little claustrophobic.
It's very intimate. That's what I like about it.
It was very like tightly packed in there. But it was good. It was fun.
That sounds fun. I saw Project Hail Mary 2 weeks ago on the day it came out. But
you have not read the book, right?
I have not read the book. But I also didn't read The Martian. I tried, but it's too sciencey for me. I can't process that kind of writing. It's just too... It's too smart for me, honestly.
I didn't understand any of it. It's like when you read a name you can't pronounce in the book and you just go
Cyoban, Sauersea. So
in your head you just call them Hermie one and you move on.
Yes. But I love the movies. I think science fiction, when it's that high level, and some people probably think I sound like an idiot, all of our listeners, but science fiction translates so much better for me into a movie. Okay. The visual, like just the visuals of those books are stunning when they're put on a big screen. So The Martian was great when I saw that, 10 years ago or whatever. But this movie,
I'm very
was
excited.
amazing. And it's a very long movie, but it did not feel long. And we actually cried Caleb at one point.
How could you not?
And I'm not going to give anything away.
No spoilers.
But
so hard.
there was at one point I looked over at him and he had taken off his glasses and he was like ferociously wiping under his eyes and he was like, I'm fine. And I'm like, it's okay.
It's okay. I love it when you get to watch your kids get emotional.
Like what's touching them. I'm like, okay, you are a human that has feelings.
I know, because my youngest does not. And I'm like, what's going on up in there?
Is she a rock?
Yeah.
But the movie was just so gorgeous, and the way that they portray this otherworldly, I mean, everything about it. And Ryan Gosling's not too bad on the eyes either. I wouldn't kick him out of bed if you know what I mean.
I kind of feel like they ruined, for me, the best twist in the book was the reveal, spoiler alert, of Rocky.
Okay.
That is such a twist in the book. And they ruined it with all of the previews. Like, you see him, you hear him. Like, you had no idea what this was going to be in the book. And the book was great. I loved it.
And you've always told me that's one of your favorite books.
It is. And I love Andy Weir, and like, no shame.
No, I think that's great. Obviously, his work translates very well because it is good.
I like sciencey books, so I liked those two. Jurassic Park, believe it or not, the book by Michael Crichton, very sciencey. And I devoured that book when I was 16 years old.
That movie still holds up.
Oh my God, so good. So
Dinosaur.
I'm in your blood.
I love it when you say that.
Everything I know about DNA, I learned from that.
Same though.
That little twisted
made so much sense. Yeah. And I mean, having watched that movie and loving it, there is, and I'm sure you'll see the movie, but Ryan Gosling's character Grace wears this really adorable cardigan throughout the movie with it's hand knit and it has a fox on it.
Okay.
And so of course I immediately went to the internet after the movie and I was like, I want to find the pattern because I want to make this cardigan.
Make it? Oh.
Yeah, and I've had a hard time finding like something that is true to the representation.
Okay.
Because of course people are raving about this sweater that he wears. Like if you're
I'm trying to really hard.
If you're in the knitting community,
away from like the okay.
Yeah, you'll see it. But in the knitting community, I am an avid knitter. So I was trying to find a pattern that closely resembled it. And then there were people like, this is the one. No, this is the one. And I'm like, it doesn't look like it. I know in my head what I'm looking for. And so it took me to a lot of Reddit posts. And I will tell you, Reddit is really hard for me. I don't get it. I need help.
I'm going to give you a Reddit tutorial.
Please do. I was like, okay, there's all these like links and what are these like thumbs up things? And I just felt like I was going down into spider webs. I don't know.
Well, on Reddit, you upvote or you downvote. So there's an up arrow and a down arrow. Is that what you're talking about?
Sure.
So when you upvote someone, they get karma. And so for every upvote you get karma. And
does that like make your post more relevant in a search?
Probably. I think people just want karma. I couldn't care less. I think I don't even know what my karma is on Reddit, but it takes some getting used to, especially for us old lady folk. So basically Reddit is like,
it's very basic.
There's a lot of they're called subreddits. So there is a subreddit for heated rivalry. There's a subreddit for puzzles. There's one for literally everything.
Does that mean like a category?
It's a category.
A topic? Okay.
Mm-hmm. So you can subscribe to the subreddit. And then when you click on Reddit on your phone, it will populate with just those subs that you are subscribed to. Or you can go on the popular feed and then you'll see the most popular things that people have posted on Reddit. So for instance, my Reddit is like 100%. It's, I'm subscribed to Heated Rivalry, cross-stitching. I get a lot of cross-stitching posts. The university where I work, I always want to see what people are saying there. I'm just on so many. So
you understand like the internet so much better than me. Like, what is happening to me?
And then once you get the hang of it, it's like totally normal. It's like reading it's like a thread. You know what a thread is?
Yes.
So that's all one Reddit post is just a thread. And then you're reading everyone's comments on that.
And I feel like maybe I was getting overwhelmed because it felt infinite.
Oh my God,
this just keeps going. So at what point do I know that I have the information
that you need? And the internet never ends. It's like infinity.
Homer Simpson reached the end of the internet.
He did?
Yes, you have reached the end. There is no more to see. Goodbye.
I forgot about that.
I need closure. I do need a lot of resolution. And I feel like, well, what if I missed the one I need? What if I had just scrolled one more and I would have saw it, but I quit, I quit early.
Have you seen the preview for the new Harry Potter HBO show? Did you know that there was a new show?
I think I did see one thing about it.
They just dropped the trailer this week.
Okay.
And so it basically looks like the first movie, but with different actors. It's very strange. It's so
Why are
closely.
we doing it?
And like then you take away John Williams' score, and I'm like, this is weird to me.
Why are they doing it? Is it a TV show?
It's a TV show, and what they're going to do is every season is going to be one book, because you couldn't fit all of the book into the movie. So it's going to be a much more thorough retelling of the books. And so maybe they'll take out some of like the racist and fat phobic things that J.K. Rowling wrote about that I never realized when I read them. But now that I hate her and I go back and I read other people's thoughts on it, I get all of that, and it just fuels my hatred.
Yeah, she was very mean to Neville Longbottom.
Very hard for me because I loved those books, and I read both. I read the series at least 3 times, and then I read it to my oldest, and it was like reading to my kids has been, for me, the highest joy of motherhood. You never know when you're going to read the last book to your kid out loud. You never know, because one day you just don't.
Yeah.
And I really, really, really miss it. And reading those books to him was just the best thing I ever did. I did read them to the second one. She would kind of just be like, la, 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 and spin around. And then at the very end, she'd be like, who's Voldemort again?
And listen to me read these fucking books. This means more to me than it does to you.
It did, I think, actually, for her. I don't think she cared that much. So I almost like, it was such a big part of my life, and it was like so formative for me that I really do want to watch it. So I think I'm just going to pirate it so that at least HBO and J.K. Rowling doesn't get my money.
Yeah, I read the series twice, and both times I read it when I was like in college for my children's literature class, which I loved. And then I read it again as an adult with my friend Amanda. We read it at the same time so we could discuss it. Yeah. And both times I just loved the series.
I love it. I still love it. I can't help it.
Yeah. And it's a bummer.
Why is she such a bad person now?
I hate it when people don't meet your heroes, first of all.
Yeah, for real.
Because you find out that, I mean, we're all flawed, but I feel like there's a difference between having flaws and just being absolutely 100% wrong about something.
I mean, she's like really doubled down on it too.
Oh,
and it's
multiple times.
Mean.
It is.
With such mean language.
It's okay to admit that maybe you just don't understand something.
I don't think she cares. I think TERF is the word that describes her so perfectly.
And for those
acronym.
People that don't know, it stands for
Trans Exclusionary Radical Feminist. Only people with uteruses can be in female spaces, essentially. So she has said a lot of very hateful things about transgender people in general. And, even kids who have reached out and said, like, your books shaped my entire life, but I am a transgender individual. And, she just says real snappy, mean things back to them. It's
so hateful.
Disgusting.
And especially when a lot of people identified with those books because they were so much about not feeling like you belonged in one world and then finding your place in the world where...
And that love was the answer to everything. And I know that's a little bit simple, but it was a little bit simple in the book too. I mean, ultimately that is why Harry defeated Voldemort, because Harry had known love and Voldemort didn't.
Right. He never knew his father. And he never learned to read.
Wait, what is that from?
I think it was a movie where it was a comedy movie. I remember someone saying, the worst part? I never learned to read. And I wish I could remember who said it and what movie it was, because I have referenced that so many times. Yeah. And it's unfair for me to keep using it and not give credit to where...
Don't worry, I'm really good at Googling. I'll figure it out.
Okay, yeah, we'll figure it out. But maybe that's just been Voldemort's, his lore this whole time.
She's Voldemort.
She is.
She thought she was Dumbledore.
It's like the whole Scooby-Doo reveal. Like you pull off Voldemort's little like nose thing, and underneath it was
J.K. Rowling all along.
Oh, it was you all along, J.K. Rowling. And she would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for Harry and those miserable, mischievous kids.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, that is everything that we have for today. And we can't wait to hang out with you guys next time on Still the Loudest in the Room. Katie, do you have any Mike Birbiglia tropes for us to close out today?
I really don't. I'll think of a good one for the next time.
All right. Take care, everybody. Bye.